Jajet from Nigeria. Dear Pastor, what are the implications for a couple who are not wedded in church but have fully concluded their traditional rites? Okay, that's very simple. What are the implications for a couple who are not wedded in church but have fully concluded their traditional rites? There are two things here. Firstly, if that happened before you came to church, then that's not a problem, because nobody knows about that anyway. You came as husband and wife to the church, whether you got married when you were Muslims or you got married when you were Shintoists or Buddhists, whatever it was, wherever you did the marriage, when you come into the house of God, you are still married and you are children of God. And no one's going to be asking, how did you do the marriage? You know, that's not a problem. So, however, if you've come like that, then the church does accommodate you without asking details of how you got married. We don't do that. But if you're already in the house of God, if you're already Christians, and while you are now in the house of God, you decided to get married, and you chose to do the traditional without the church, you got a problem. You're spiting the church, and that's wrong. You see, so every child of God who wants to get married, before you make that plan, your pastorate must be aware. You don't just run off and come back with somebody else, or two of you just run off and get married somewhere and come back and say, now, we were here singles, we went away married and we had come back. You'll be embarrassing yourselves in the house of God. So the implication, like you asked, is that you are spiting the church if you do that. So what are you supposed to do? First is the church before your tradition. See, it's the house of God that you conclude your arrangements for marriage before you go for your traditional. So don't go to the traditional and come from there to tell us we are now traditionally married and want the church to give us a blessing. That's nonsense. See, it's wrong. And some even make light of it and say, well, we got married somewhere, and we are asking for church blessing. Is that all you think it is? Just a blessing? And if it's just a blessing, how blessed is that blessing? How much blessing could that blessing be? So think about it again. But if you've already done that, go to your pastor and report yourself and say, we made a mistake and we're here now. Please forgive us. And they will forgive you and tell you what to do. Now, the pastoral ministry is so important. It can never be overemphasized. It's so important because, you see, it's in the church that the pastor can let you know how to dedicate your children. You know, because sometimes if you come to church and you find on certain Sundays babies are being dedicated, you don't even know how come. You don't know how the church got to know that they had children. You know, because maybe you've just been a new member, or you come to church only on Sundays and you just hear the announcements. There's a child dedication. You don't know how they got to know. If you're part of the system, if you are in the relevant structures in the church, you will get to know. So if you're new to the church, the first place is, once first-timers are asked to wait behind or go somewhere to be addressed, go there. That's the first place. You will be addressed on that occasion. Now, once you are addressed as a first-timer, you'll be told to start a foundation class. Now, the foundation class, as the name implies, it's the beginning. It's where you get started in the ministry. Then they introduce to you the different aspects of the ministry, different things that you're supposed to do, and your role as an individual and as a member. All of this information will be given to you. Then you get to know when people want to get married, who do they talk to? When people have a problem, some challenges at work, who do they talk to? You see, all these things will become clear to you through the pastoral ministry and the structure that is given to you in the house of God. Every Christian must be a member of a church. It is compulsory. It is compulsory. Now, if you have somebody, there are those who say, I'm a member of the body of Christ. You say, where do you go to church? You say, I'm a member of the body of Christ. They are indisciplined. And it's stupidity. They're ignorant of the word. And when you meet such people, tell them to go to church and get humble.